I got something from the school.
Those aren't Christ. Live right there in the seat. The water, sis. Hey, Shalom, Israel. How about Shem Yahshua rock a thumb to the brothers? Yahweh Shemal, thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Preaching officer 50, because Shemal. Holding down the brotherhood class, preaching officer 5,000, officer Shalom YAHANNA. We're going to start this off. Everybody get a Lord a hand if you could. And before I go any further, I want to say the water. First, to commend General YAHANNA for keeping this truth and raising up mighty men and great brothers to carry this word of the Lord. And a special shout out to Captain Yatazak out of Houston, Texas, man. His whole camp. They hosted the Passover this year, and it was glorious. It was a beautiful event, tremendous amount of love, extreme brotherhood and sisterhood was in full effect out there in Houston, Texas. It was a glorious event, you understand? The Lord's Passover was beautiful. I just want to give a special shout out to the brothers in Houston that made that all possible, put that together. They worked very hard out there. Very, very hard. It was a beautiful event. The whole week was beautiful, you understand? Because we had the Passover on Saturday, but the events and just the dedication that brothers had to making sure that everybody enjoys themselves. It was beautiful, man. I tell you, you don't get real love like that outside of the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? You have to be in this school to truly understand what that love and that real brotherhood and sisterhood is about. Right. Because in the world, we don't experience those things. You know? We don't see that in the world. In the world, brothers is fighting over nonsense. Sisters is bickering and beefing and excluding sisters out of things for petty reasons. You don't see that type of love. But the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And that's just a blessing right there. You understand? That's a blessing to be in this body, to be part of this one body, and be able to experience and see these things and know these things. It must have been about what, Officer Baja? About how many thousands of brothers and sisters at the Passover out there in Houston? There was no violence. There was no altercations, no arguing, no disrespect. It's not happening. It's the only place you can find real, true love for our brothers and our sisters, our people. You come in here, you get real love. Not like that garbage that they try to promote outside. You're going to get real love in the I.S.U.P.K. Love your family wouldn't give you. Love you can't get from people that came out the same womb as you. Come in here, come get this real love, this real brotherhood and sisterhood. But you know, I definitely have to shout out the brothers of Houston, Commander General YAHANNA, for all that glorious work they put together. It was just glorious. And that's one of our issues right now. We don't know who to love. You understand? We out here beefing and bickering and fighting with each other and down talking to each other and getting over on each other. And there's a bunch of other nations that already do that. We don't need to do that to each other. There's a whole bunch of people in the world that's trying to do that to us in the first place, just because who we are. Right. We got the nerves we want to downplay and disrespect and underhand and get over on our own brothers and sisters. It's ridiculous. You understand? It's ridiculous. And it needs to stop. We need to learn to love each other and find out who we are so we can do better for each other, so we can become a great nation again. And we're going to get there by learning these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That's first and foremost. And then executing and demonstrating perfect brotherhood and sisterhood. The type of brotherhood and sisterhood that was on display in Houston, Texas last week. You understand? That type of love for each other. That's what we have to display. Right. You understand? Learn who we are. We're gonna go to when we was out there in Houston, one of the captains had brought this story up, you know. It's a well-known story, but just the heaviness in the story alone is just why we're gonna bring it up again today. You understand? We're gonna go to the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 11. You understand? We're gonna go read about this cat named Moses. You understand? This brother that knew who he was, despite all the confusion And all the reasons that he could have been confused, he knew exactly who he was. And he knew exactly who was like him. You understand? He knew who his brothers was. He knew who his sisters was. He wasn't confused about where his love lies. If you could.
Come.
Let's start out on verse 11.
Exodus 2 and 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren.
So it says right here that Moses was grown, you understand? Because Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's house. You understand? He grew up as an Egyptian. He grew up as a privileged person, if you would say, you know, so-called good life living with the Pharaoh, just living different from his brothers. But he's out there one day and he sees one of these Egyptian cats attacking one of his brothers. You understand? One of the Hebrew brothers, one of the brothers that was enslaved there. He wasn't a slave himself. He was living in the house with Pharaoh. But he seen his brother being attacked and it angered him. And it did something inside his body. It got his nerves working, his brain moving. If we could.
12. And when he looked this way and that way.
And he looked this way and he looked that way. You know, you about to do something, you want to make sure nobody looking. You paying attention to see who paying attention. You know, ain't nobody looking right now. You understand? If you could, sir.
And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian.
And when he saw there was nobody there, he bust that Egyptian in the head. You understand? Because that Egyptian was attacking his brother. And we just read, Moses was living like the Egyptians. He was living in Pharaoh's house. He didn't have the same problems with that brother that was being attacked. But you know what he did have? He had the same blood as that brother. He had the same father as that brother. And he knew that it was his responsibility to protect and defend his brother against the other nation that was attacking his brother. You understand? It was the spirit that took over him and made him want to go help his brother. If we could, we finish that off, sir.
And hid him in the sand.
And he hid him in the sand. He didn't want nobody to see this body. You understand? And that's the type of spirit we have to be in. You have to know who your brothers is. We outside dealing with the same problems. You arguing with people because they live in different neighborhoods. He got the same amount of roaches in his house as you. He got the same amount of mice running up and down the house as you. He owe rent just like you. He work at a bum job and they're not paying him enough, and he's being disrespected and mistreated, and he's scared of the police. He's living the same life as you, trying to get by. And we got the nerve to be out here arguing with our own, picking at our own, starting problems with our own. This cat Moses was in the mansion. You understand? You had called them a house N-word for lack of better words. You understand? He was raised by Pharaoh. He was good. He had money. He was living royalty life. But he risked all of that to save his brother because he knew who his brother was. He wasn't confused. He knew exactly who his brothers was despite the way he grew up and what he was taught. He knew exactly who he was. You understand? And that's having the right spirit. That's having a spirit brothers got to get back into to understand who we are. And remember that is our brother. That is our sister. There's no reason to be bringing each other down. We have to build each other up. Look out for each other because ain't nobody looking out for us. You understand? And Moses knew this. He just knew it in his heart. You understand? He just knew it. He had the spirit on him. And there's laws for dealing with your brother. There's things you should and shouldn't do when dealing with your brother or your sister. You understand? And we're going to get some of the things that we should not do while we're dealing with our brothers and sisters. Some of the things that we might have a tendency of doing. We're going to go to Leviticus 19 and 17. Some of the things we might have a tendency of doing that we need to put an end to because that's not what we should be doing and it's not what we were taught to do. Picking up bad habits. Put them habits back down and give it back to the oppressor or whatever nation of people that try to teach you these things. Give them back their things.
Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. We ain't talking about that thing in your chest that pumps blood. We're talking about your heart, the heart of your body, your system, your mind, the thing that makes everything work. You cannot hate your brother in your mind. You cannot have hate for your brother. You understand? Love your brother. You're going to hate your brother for what? For what? I don't care what your brother did. There's no reason to hate your brother. You understand? Especially because you probably don't hate you don't hate the person that you should hate. You're going to hate your brother and love every other nation of people. You're trying to save everybody but your brother. You want to know if that man could get in. And what about them? And what about them? It's not right to exclude them, but you don't give a damn about your brother. You got nothing but hate for your brother. And we're reading right here, that's against the law. That goes directly against the law. We're in the book of Leviticus. That's where all the laws is at. It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. You cannot have hate for your brother. You have to love your brother. How you going to build stuff for people that you hate? What you going to accomplish running around with people that you hate? Only thing that's coming from that is destruction. If we could, read it from the top.
17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Come on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Shall not rebuke your neighbor for no reason. Go ahead, sir.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And don't suffer sin upon your brother. You understand? It's not lawful. It's not lawful. It's not the way we should live. It's not brotherly. You understand? It's really disgusting. It's really down disgusting. We're going to go to verse 18 as well.
18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
It says, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge. Yes. Go ahead, sis.
What verse are we on?
That's Leviticus 19 and 18. Like I said, okay, you can pick those up. 19 and 18.
Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Okay, I have it.
Okay.
It says, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. You can't be out here trying to seek revenge on your brother for something that you feel bad about. You shouldn't even be out here holding grudges. Hey, you shouldn't be out here holding grudges against your brother or sister. You understand? You gotta let things go. You gotta let things go. You say here harboring hate. We just read that it says, thou shalt not hate thy brother. You understand? You over here harboring hate and feuds in your brain with your brother or your sister. And that goes against the law. And that's one of the reasons why we can't unite and be together.
Right.
Because brothers and sisters is running around secretly hating each other and secret competitions with each other. When we all got the same problems.
Right.
We all got the same issues. I don't care if you go to a different state. We just left Houston. Guess what? The Mexicans out there messed up too.
Sure, it's a lot.
Come on, sir.
Me and a brother and a few sisters got into a shootout in the Mexican hood.
Got to a shootout in the Mexican hood.
Yeah, basically, brother, the same reason brothers shoot in the regular hood. Brothers was at the taco spot or at the local eatery. They butt heads, start talking mad-ish until someone says, I'm going to go get my gun.
Right.
And then pom, pom, pom. And the thing about it is, it's like, you laugh at it in the situation because it's like in New York and had the same goddamn situation,
right,
just in a Judite hood or in a Benjaminite hood,
right,
or so like for those who don't know, African American or West Indian hood. Like it was the exact same spirit.
Damn right.
And it's like it lets you know there is no difference between the tribes.
You damn right, sir. Ain't no difference between the tribes. You hear that? It don't matter where you go. We got the same problems. We're going through the same issues. We have the same frustrations over. You understand? We the same people. No matter where you find us at, we are the same people. So it shouldn't even be that hard to identify where your brother is. Just look for the brother going through the same shit as you. It's a lot.
Right.
Just look for the brother going through the same thing as you. It's easy to see.
Right.
It's easy to see. Because the things that we go through, only we go through. Right. Ain't nobody else going through the things we going through. Ain't dealing with the problems we dealing with. Nobody else. Everybody else is set, good, and well protected within their nations.
Right.
You understand? They are Tawab. They are good.
Right.
They got land and oil and armies and resources to back them up.
Right. Now I've got a question. Like, you think any halal cat is mad at the cat 2 blocks up.
Great,
Like
great.
you think like I've never seen Arab stores beefing, even though there's one of those on every block.
Right.
Like they're all going to sell you the same Lucy, but none of them fight each other over the Lucy sale or the chopped cheese sale or the zigzag sale or whatever the hell else they sell. None of them do that. Like Chinese food stores don't beef with other Chinese food stores.
You're right.
Don't beef, the drive-thru, they're on every block though.
Right.
Because they all have one thing, one brotherhood, meaning they stick together. Like, honestly, I know the Asians definitely, I think the Asians honestly have a physical group. Like, the others probably just have it, like, just unspokenly.
Right.
But the Asians, I honestly think, sit there and say, we're going to have this pool, and if your Chinese food store is ever messed up financially, call us, and the pool will make sure you'll always make money.
Oh, you damn right.
If there isn't, if your landlord, that's if your landlord isn't another Asian.
Right.
Because if it's another Asian, yeah, these niggas ain't buying chicken this week.
Right.
I have no sweat. Your rent, instead of your rent being 11,000, it's 10,000 or
Right.
8,000.
Right.
But like, they don't have those problems.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're a knit community.
Mm-hmm.
But us, we're shooting each other over dime bags.
Right. Over arguments at a taco place.
Right.
Oh, good night.
God.
Taco place that was so important that you had to go get your gun.
Right. One question I have, because this is a recent one that happened. What can make you so, and there's a lot of cases like this, but what can make you so angry, or what could a man have done to you to make you so angry that you say, I see him in a McDonald's parking lot with him. But there's so many situations like that.
That's right. You damn right, sir. You damn right, sir. I ain't gonna lie. And it's sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
It's disgusting. And it's so off. You understand? We picking up bad spirits and bad traits and behavior from people that's not even our people. You understand?
Right.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the most loving and caring people in the world.
Right.
I don't care where you go. They are the most loving and caring and genuine people in the world. The nonsense that we do is picked up from oppressors oppressing us and us watching other nations of people destroy, diminish, and just abuse us to the point where we retaliate and we just said rabbit mode. You ever put a little animal in the corner, you see the possums and whatnot?
Right.
You ever been around a possum and you back the possum into the corner until
Right.
you can't do nothing else and he starts bugging, he show that teeth and he starts acting all erratic? That's how we act right here.
And if I may, not to
Come on, sir.
what's it called? Like, and I like that you say we're getting it from somebody, but you know who the main group, and it's our people think this is they're such great role models, but like the main group that we run this from, you know they are.
Go on, do it.
Everybody wants to be one. A goddamn gangster.
Oh,
But here's the thing about it, like I like gangster movies, like your Goodfellas,
right.
your Casino,
Right.
and all that. One thing I find very funny is that you always get this idea of type of family, like Goodfellas. Like, remember when he got out after they saw he didn't snitch on him?
Right.
Like, yeah, this is your graduation day.
They was excited.
They was excited, like you're a part. You really are a part of the club now. You're a member of the family, and it's like you actually go through the movie and you see like everybody else was a part of this family. Like they're telling, he said it straight out, yo, we laugh. That's the level of brotherhood that these Italian quotes.
Right.
It's like your family until I perceive that you may be a threat.
Right.
I have no substantial reasoning for you to be a threat, so I'm gonna kill you. And it showed the level of, it's not even so much as what we saw them doing to us, it's also what we saw them doing to each other.
Right.
Well, the Italians were able to make it and become great because they didn't take nonsense and they just killed whoever was a problem with them. But what we don't understand is that we're better than Italians. So there's a punishment for us going around putting each other inside a goddamn meat lockers.
Right.
Like, we actually will go to jail. The Italian gets to become a senator and a union delegate. They get to run the electricity union. Right. While we just get to run the state penitentiary.
Construction unions and what have you.
Right. We get to, right, exactly.
Right.
And it's an important imperative that you understand it, because what did they do? They went out trying to avenge their deaths and cause all these mob wars that you hear about from back in the 30s and 40s.
Right.
We try to do the same. end up massively incarcerated.
Damn right, sir. Damn right, sir. He ain't lying. He bringing out some heavy stuff, man. And that's what and that's the truth. That's the raw truth behind it.
Right.
We out here trying to be everybody but who we are.
Right.
We want to do what everybody else is doing. And you know what's so crazy? Only you pay for it.
Right.
Only you pay for it. More proof that you are not the type of people as them. That you should know who your brothers are because your brothers pay for the things they do too. Right. And everybody else is doing it. But it seems that only one group of people get punished. You know why? Because your father doesn't want you doing what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Hence the term holy and separate people.
Right.
He doesn't want you doing what everybody else is doing. So we out here hating our brothers and hating our sisters and going against what the Most High said and what the Most High intended. And we wonder why we living in hell.
Right, and if I may.
Come on, sir.
So like, just to piggyback on what you're saying, everybody's doing it. The Yakuza, the Chinese triad.
Oh yeah, that's who owns the Chinese stores and all that.
Oh yeah, what's it called the Russian mafia? There is an Irish mafia.
I believe you.
Like, we don't believe electricity is of Satan, but we're going to sell drugs and shoot people and leave you on the side of the road. Cars are evil, but we're still gangsters. But you know what? They get to flourish. We get stuck in the gutter. Like, look at Frank Lucas.
Lucas.
Owned Harlem from river to river. Look at his family now.
Right.
All's probably still in jail.
Also snitched.
Right.
Also squealed to the police, and that's the people that we so-called look up to and want to be like, and we getting so confused following what other people are doing because Frank Lucas was a guy who was following the mafia.
Right.
He was following the mob. He was trying to be he was trying to get even and get like the Italians who are not your brothers.
Right.
Who could give a damn about you. But we so caught up in doing what everybody else is doing that we picked up all their bad habits, and now guess what? We don't give a damn about each other.
Right.
And that's the problem. Because we're supposed to give a damn about one another. You understand? These things that we should do. These things that we're supposed to do. We read it in you see the law. Let's come back to this law. What was that? Verse 18?
God.
Let's get verse 18 one more time.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So don't avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Can't be out here chasing down brothers that's living like you, that look like you, because him and your friend had a fight. So now you chasing this boy down in the street with a gun to kill him for what? For what? Holding grudges. And that's against what the Lord wants. You wonder why we live in the condition that we do? Because we're not following what the Father said to do. Trying to do what everybody else is doing. And it's disgusting.
Right.
Let's finish that off. That verse right there, sir.
God. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
But thou shalt what?
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
But you should love your neighbor as yourself. You understand? I ain't talking about the person that lives next to you. I'm talking about the person that lives like you. Your brother. You understand? Your sister. Love them as yourself. Running around, starting all types of nonsense and problems and killing off the Lord's children. You got enough nations of people that want to do that. We don't need to add and help to what's going on. You understand? We need to add and help to what we got going on. What the Lord had going on for us. We need to get back to that. Let's go to the book of Ephesians real fast.
Chapter and verse?
Chapter 4, verse 31.
131.
You understand? We out here holding grudges and taking each other's lives and, putting each other in bad situations, trying to be like other people. Trying to be like other nations of people that could give a damn about us in the first place. They killing us and we help killing us. They're winning. You understand? They're winning.
Right.
They don't have to kill us anymore because we killing each other.
Man.
Come on with it, sir.
YAHANNA brought out years ago, like, the murder of one black man is worth $1 million.
That's damn right. $2-3 million. You understand?
No, he's talking about
in the court systems, right?
Not necessarily just the whole process.
Right.
The unis that are gonna have to get the initial call.
Yeah.
The detectives that are gonna have to investigate.
Right.
The once they catch the cats were gonna have to watch them during booking.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pay the COs.
The whole damn shebang.
Yeah. The judge, the autopsy, all that runs up to about $1 million.
Yeah. And everybody get a piece of you, right? Everybody get a piece of you dying.
Exactly.
It's big business.
Exactly. But you gotta look at, don't necessarily just end it at big business. Like, you have to look at it from a standpoint of they incentivize the game. You question, why the hell would the cops sit there and leave a bunch of drugs or a bunch of guns on a random street on Chicago?
Right.
That's why, Ali.
Right.
$50,000 out of his paycheck is because Ricky shot Bobby.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
He got great incentive to want to see you die.
Right.
That's his payday.
Right.
They looking for it. They trying to hit the lottery. I hope a black kid gets shot tonight.
Right.
They want to take home some money.
Right.
And these are the people that we run around trying to follow and be like and want to be kind to and show them love. We don't got no love for our brothers and our sisters though. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's get verse 31 if we could.
Ephesians 4:31, right?
Constant.
Ephesians 4:31, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you. You understand? We should keep these things away from us because it's not conductive to anything progressive. You understand? So much brothers and sisters lost relationships or don't talk to each other behind something that somebody said, a slick little mouth or a disrespectful comment or just bitterness, just straight up and down bitterness, hating on the next brother, hating on the next sister, wishing them evil and wanting to see them do bad. So we should put all that stuff away. Put all that stuff away, all that fussing and fighting, that little wrath, those so-called problems and little issues that you have with your brother or sister. Put all that nonsense away because it's not conductive to anything. It's not helpful and it's not needed. You understand? You know what is needed? Let's get to the next verse.
32, and be ye kind one to another.
And be kind one to another. That's what's needed. You understand? All the garbage, we can put it back in the garbage. But what is needed is for us to be kind to one another. For us to have some compassion and care about one another. Come on, sis.
Like during the slavery days, right? And when the suppressors freed us, they had tricked us from being, from our own people to betray us, so we have to be nice. I don't know, this came to my mind.
What you saying is that when we got free from slavery, the oppressor tricked us to be nice to them?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, he still do it to this day. You know, it's mental imagery and programming that they do. You understand? That devilish Christian church is a big cause of that. You understand? The psychological into a building and seeing a white Jesus who you're supposed to be praying to and supposed to be who you calling your Lord. When you see a regular white man or regular white person in the street, you associate them with a power. It's mind control. And it's of the devil. That's what that is. That place is of the devil. It's about the house of the Lord. Oh God, all the garbage that goes on in there.
Right.
So they went on from generation to generation, right?
It's still going on right now. There's a Christian church on every corner, like a trap house. There's one on every damn corner. It might be 3-4 of them on your block. They in there collecting the money from the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's what they collecting your money, and they buying things that they want. They out here robbing the neighborhoods because ain't nothing getting better. You got enough money to put 3-4 churches on the block, but ain't no homeless shelter.
Right.
Ain't no place for brothers to go get food.
Right.
Ain't no place for brothers and sisters to go get protection or some education or a job. But they in there collecting millions and trillions and billions of dollars and buying up more churches. You can't even sleep in the damn church. They got all the space in there.
Right.
Can't even sleep.
Look at Joel Osteen a few years ago.
You understand?
Y'all, you know that video? Joel Osteen a few years ago?
No, can you break it down?
The hurricane in Texas, when Texas was completely fucked up, like the church was like, he shut down the church, lied and said it was fucked, it was messed up, Salaki, excuse my language. When the church was messed up, you couldn't go in there. People snuck onto the grounds, took pictures. It's completely safe up in here.
Right.
Like no water damage, no nothing.
He didn't want to
The next day, like I guess he got pressured by the government, like, nah, you gotta run your church. We on taxes and all of that. You gotta leave it like. I open the doors. You should have saw him on national television, like he had the screw face, like, yeah, we just wanted to let everybody in. Nah, he was tight as hell.
He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that. Yeah.
I seen some churches when I was out there. I said, geez, Louise.
Oh yeah, some of them churches are beautiful.
I could fit everybody I know in this building. You understand? Brothers that have space too. Like that's your area, this is my area. And it's just ridiculous. You understand? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the things they do. Let's get that from the top, sir. 32.
32. And be ye kind one to another.
And we gotta be kind to one another because we see it's plain as day. Ain't nobody else trying to be kind to us. Well, who's being kind? The pastor that's stealing your money and buying big houses and fancy cars and airplanes, and you still hungry, you still homeless and hungry, and he telling you that there's a prayer for you and come in here, he could slap you in your forehead and send you back on your way after you take the other $10 that you just made out your pocket. You understand? Or is the cop beating you down and shooting you at the red light, shooting you in your driveway at your home? You understand? Sitting in your car in your driveway at your home, getting shot by the police in the head. There's nobody being kind to you. There's nobody being kind to you.
Right.
Go to these court systems and the judge see there's no evidence to prove that you were even at the scene, but he gives you the maximum sentence. There's nobody being kind to you. So we have to be kind to one another. Come on, sir.
I was gonna say Kamala Harris tried to stop a cat. The DNA evidence proof he ain't do the murder. He ain't do the crime. She tried to keep the death penalty on this cat.
Yeah, she's the devil.
Yeah, God.
She's the devil. And sidebar, if I may, brothers and sisters confused, thinking that this Salakia shit.
Yeah, God.
That this
or but whatever.
You know what I'm saying? This
right.
This is hoochie mama, whatever you want to call her, is part of your people. Ain't nothing about Kamala Harris made me think she was a sister ever.
Right.
And if you do, there's something wrong with you.
And if I may, let's go one last thing on that subject.
Come on.
Like what's called being like black. Our people need to stop thinking that a skin tone means a goddamn thing.
Damn right.
The East Indians do not like our people, and what the hell is person of color?
Right.
Like we are the only people that got ridiculed, beaten, and killed for being people of color.
Right.
So when you go and you actually show and prove to a person, Kamala Harris isn't black, well, she's still East Indian, so that makes her a person of color.
Right. All that garbage.
That's not my people.
All that garbage. And
right.
The Lord said,
that's exactly it.
And the Lord says, pastors as a speckled bird. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but we come in many different colors. And your color doesn't make you our people. You understand? The signs that you go through, the things that we live through, to let you know who our people are. You understand? And our people are out here struggling, hurt, destroyed, and being beaten and taken advantage of. That's how you can identify who your brother and sister is. They got the same problems as you. You understand? And nobody's being kind to them. We have to be kind to one another. You understand? We have to be tender-hearted. Forgiving one another. You understand? Be forgiven. We read in Leviticus 19 and 18 that we shouldn't hold grudges or seek vengeance for our brothers and sisters. You understand? We shouldn't want to have revenge and hold grudges against our brothers and sisters. You understand? It's not something that we should do. It's not conducive to anything that's going to help us. There's already a whole bunch of people trying to keep us down and hurt us and distract us and confound us. We don't need to do it to each other, but we do need to be kind to one another. We need to be forgiving to one another. Even as God, you understand? Even as God, even as the Lord is forgiving to us, you know what I'm saying? And for Christ's sake, have forgiven you. Christ died and we was all forgiven. You understand? We could have all been held accountable for the dumb and terrible mistakes we made. Terrible decisions. But we give forgiveness. You understand? How you not going to give it back? How you want somebody to forgive you when you mess up, but you don't got enough energy and compassion and sympathy to forgive someone else? You want to hold them accountable for everything, but you want to be held accountable for nothing. You want somebody to turn the other cheek. Don't be like that. Why are you bringing up the past? But you got the nerve to be holding grudges and won't give forgiveness to your brothers and sisters. Won't be kind to your brothers and sisters over some garbage. Promise you, whatever it is, garbage. You understand? Because it ain't about nothing about these laws and statutes and commandments. It's probably garbage. I'll tell you that right now. You understand? You know what I'm saying? It's true compassion. We got to learn to get back to that. True compassion and sympathy. You know what I'm saying? We must learn from one another. Somebody has to start showing it so that we can understand how to do it. Because it's necessary. And it's going to fix us. You understand? That's what we need. Let's go to Colossians. We're going to go to chapter 3. On the book. And we're going to learn how we should be with our brothers and sisters. You understand? So we have a few examples just now of what we shouldn't be doing and how we shouldn't move with each other. But now it's time to learn how we should, things that are acceptable, things that are needed to build up this brotherhood. Yeah, I finished up in Ephesians. We're going to go to Colossians. Colossians. We're going to go to 3 and 12. And we're going to see some things that is acceptable. You understand? That we can do with our brothers and sisters. The ways that we should move with our brothers and our sisters. 3 and verse 12. Whatever you have to say.
This is Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved.
It says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, as the person chosen by the Most High. This is what we should be doing. Come on.
Bowels of mercy.
Bowels of mercies. You understand? Some mercy. Some be forgiving. You understand? Give a brother a chance. Show some mercy. What else?
Kindness.
Kindness. You understand? Goes a long way. Be kind. You understand? Don't be so evil and quick to judge. You understand? Show some kindness. Show some kindness to a brother or a sister. Change their day. You don't even know. You might change their life. What else?
Humbleness of mind.
Humbleness of mind. You understand? Don't think so highly of yourself. What else?
Meekness.
Meekness.
Long suffering.
And long suffering. You understand? Be willing to go the distance with your brother and your sister, man. Cutting people off for little baby things, man. Be willing to go the distance. It might be hard. You might get a little frustrated. So what? Show some love to your brothers and your sisters. Because you want somebody to show love to you. Show some love back to your brothers and your sisters. You understand? These are things that are acceptable. Bowels of mercy. You understand? Humbleness of mind. Long suffering. These are things that we need. These are ways that we should be with our brothers and with our sisters. What else we got? Let's go to 13.
13. Forbearing one another.
Forbearing one another. You understand? What's forbearing mean? Patience and restraint. Easygoing. Forgiving and understanding. All great traits and great things and characteristics that you can have to carry on to show our brothers and our sisters, to show our children, so that we can have a little mercy and compassion for one another. We won't be so quick to kill and jump in and fight with one another. We won't be so quick to disown one another. Show a little forbearing, long suffering. And what else we got in there?
And forgiving one another.
And forgiving one another. All right, come on.
If any man have a quarrel against any.
And if any man have a quarrel against any, if you have a problem with a brother, you understand? You got a little issue. Y'all had a couple words, you know what I'm saying? Altercation, a situation, whatever the problem was. What it says?
Forgiving one another if any man have a quarrel against another. Against any.
You have a quarrel against anyone. You got a little altercation with one another. What did you say?
Forgiving one another if any man have a quarrel against any.
Even as Christ.
Even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
So even as Christ forgave you, forgive your brother. Forgive your sister. You know they took your money out your drawer. So what? Water under the bridge. Get by it. Get past it. You understand? Get over these things. Get over these things and stop holding grudges with your brothers and your sisters. You understand? It's not brotherhood. It's not what the Lord intended. It's very worldly. It's other nations. You know what I'm saying? Influencing you. influencing us to make us think that these things are acceptable. When the Lord said what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, especially for his children. So we have to be better than what we are doing. You understand? We have to stop fighting and attacking and destroying each other. But we need to start being forgiving and forbearing and long-suffering one another, being kind, humbleness of mind, very important. Brothers and sisters running around thinking they better than each other. We are the same people. You go through the same problems. Humble yourself. It'll help you be able to speak to brothers and sisters. Very, very important. Let's get on verse 14 if we could.
14. And above all these things, put on charity.
Put on charity. You understand? Be charity. What's charity? Be there. You know what I'm saying? Be sincere. Come on with it, sir.
Charity is love.
Love, yeah. Be
charity. Charity has nothing to do with what the world does. Like literally, every time you see charity in the New Testament, it just means love.
Yeah, damn right, sir.
And what is love? SHALAM, what is love?
You asking me what is
love?
God. To follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God.
And that's what he's saying.
Right.
With everything, follow the law.
Damn right.
And then when you understand that that's following the law, you'll know what? Not to rob anyone.
Damn
not
right.
to steal from anyone. Don't bear any grudge against our people.
Damn right.
Because that's true love. That is truly love. To go to a brother and like deal with your issue with that brother, instead of sitting in a car like, yo, I don't like him over there.
Right.
Like that's love.
That's not love. That's terrible.
Right.
That's terrible. There's a scripture.
No, I mean like what's called the love of going up to him and
oh, yeah, you damn right.
God, that's
you damn right. You damn right, sir.
Right.
Come on, let's get it again from the top.
14. And above all these things, put on charity.
Put on charity. You understand? Just break it down. Put on some love. You understand?
Right.
Be there. Be there to your brother. Really mean what you say. Really do what's supposed to be done. Which is
the bond of perfectness.
Which is the bond of perfectness. You understand? This is what we should be doing. This is what we should be striving for. To follow these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. For his commandments are not grievous. And in following these commandments, we will have a nation. We will be one, connected as one, and just strong. You understand? You understand how strong we could be if we learn to be compassionate with one another, if we learn to be one. You understand? We would avoid a whole lot of stuff that's going on with us. Come on with it.
No, I was going to say, if you understand how fluid and how connected the scriptures are, precept upon precept, like
damn right.
I was saying, like what are we ordered to truly do to be perfect, even as our Father art in heaven is perfect.
Right.
And then this scripture earlier in verse 12, in verse 13 it says, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. So it's letting you know that your perfection should be like the Father's.
Damn
right.
What
your love should be like the Father's.
Damn right, sir. You damn right. You damn right. Because he was forgiving. You understand? Right. And he was merciful.
Right.
You understand? So should you. Who are you? You bigger than who? You can't do it? He did it for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Holding on to nonsense. And we so much stronger together. You understand? There's a little empathy for one another. We'll stop so much stuff, man. You understand? Just for caring for one another. Giving a damn about your brother and sister, what happens with them. You should, because you know who else cares about what happens with his brothers and sisters? Christ. And we should want to be like Christ. You understand? We should want to be like YAHANNA, who you ignorantly called Jesus. We should want to be like that man. Let's go to Matthew 25 and 40, if we could.
25 and 40, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see what type of man Christ was. You understand? And see how much brotherhood he had. And see if he had empathy and compassion for his people. See how he felt about things happening to one of his brothers or one of his sisters. And if he just turned the other cheek and didn't care, he ain't giving no thought.
25 and 40.
Come on, read it if you got it.
This, Matthew 25 and 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
It says, if you done it to one of the least of my brethren, if you do it to any one of my brethren, any one of them, the brother I chill with every day, the brother I see by the train when I'm going to work, the brother across the country at the other liquor store that I don't know. If you do it to any one of my brothers, what he said?
I say unto you, and as much as you have done it unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
You have done it unto me. You understand? And that mindset and that spirit is so powerful because first of all, it goes hand in hand with what the Lord wanted. You understand? That's exactly what the Lord wanted. He wanted us to go and be together and be one nation on one accord. But it's so powerful because if we thought like that, we could stop a lot of things happen to us in this world right here. You understand? A lot of uncalled for deaths, a lot of abuse, a lot of rape, a lot of drug abuse and drug overdose. We could stop so many things just by thinking like this. You understand? Because a bully loves to attack an individual. But if they knew that you were all unified and all together, and if he did it to you, he was doing it to 865 million people, he wouldn't want to do it. You understand? He wouldn't want that fight. But they know that they could attack us in the streets and however they want to attack us because we don't even love each other. We're not gonna fight for each other. We're not gonna stand up for each other.
Right.
You understand? We not bothered by it. Oh, they ain't got nothing to do with me. But Christ said if it happens to the least of one of his brethren, it happened to me.
Right.
I feel that pain. I feel that pain. And we need to learn to feel each other's pain. We need to learn that we are all the same. And you can't do it to my brother or my sister.
Right.
They shouldn't let you do it to me. You understand? We gotta get back on that type of spirit because that's the spirit that the Lord required.
Right.
You understand? That's the spirit that the Lord required and what He wanted from us. You understand? Falling into their traps. Come on with it. What you got?
Nah, right when the whole election thing was going on with Kamala Harris, I was telling my brother, telling about the whole situation about how she got the brothers with the whole death row situation.
Death row situation, what's that?
When she didn't want to let the brother go, even though the evidence said he was not guilty.
Oh yeah, that brother. All right.
And then all the marijuana charges and all that. Brother basically told me, well, what does that have to do with me? And I'm like, I love my brother as myself.
Damn right.
And this is exactly what Christ is talking about. And that's the problem with our community. Our people, that's a foreign concept to our people. Like if she didn't, because she didn't put me in jail, I shouldn't have a problem with this woman.
Right.
But like that in itself is a dumbass argument because it's like she's the mayor of this town. Like how do I describe it? Because it's like you saying because she was in her spot hurting people, that shouldn't bother me, and I should be willing to give her more jurisdiction. So now she has the power to hurt me on a grander, because she can only mess up the lives of people in California.
Yeah.
I should sit here and make up vice president so she can ruin the lives of every black man in America.
Give her more room.
Right, and our people don't even realize this because they're so wrapped up in some goddamn individualism that really don't even exist.
That's right.
And the reason I say that is because I'm an Army judge, I'm a lieutenant, and I'm afraid for my life. But I don't give a damn. You received an order, now obey it.
Right. You a motherfucker. You a shalaki. You a goddamn nigga to them. They don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Right.
That boy Jay-Z, he got a good song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. That's an accurate song. You know what I'm saying? Right. Very accurate. Very accurate. I don't care too much for the brother, but it's very accurate. That song is very accurate. You still an N-word, you understand? You still a Negro. And you still my nigga. You see the difference? You need to come look at your brothers, because you my nigga. I ain't worried about it. Word. They look at it the other way. They want to hurt you and kill you because of who you are. Same thing they want to do to us. Same thing they want to do to you. It's not hard to identify who is your brothers. I'm telling you, you got to stop being confused. You have to stop being confused. How Christ was living and thinking and moving, we need to get on that type of energy. And you know who else was moving like that? Moses, like we read in Exodus earlier. Because he was on that. If it happened to at least my brother, it happened to me. That's why he bust that Egyptian in the head and killed him and dashed that body away. Because he was attacking his brother and he felt that pain. And that's the spirit we got to get on. That's what we have to be like. Because it will stop so much of the things that's going on with us. So much of the issues that we deal with will be tackled because we will be the way the Lord intended. And we're going to find out how the Lord intended us to be real fast too. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10.
You said 1 and 10? Come.
No, you got it. Go ahead and read it.
1 Corinthians 1 and 10. Now I beseech ye, brethren, by the name of our Adonai, Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you.
It says that he beseech us that we all speak the same thing. You understand? Speak the same thing. Be the same way. Moving how Christ was moving. You understand? Knowing that if it happens to one of my brothers, it happens to me. If it happens to any one of my brothers and sisters, it happens to me. Speaking the same language. You understand? Being on one accord with no division. You understand? No division. No, he's Crip, I'm Blood, I can't mess with him. Or he Patya, and I'm Vice Lord, I can't mess with him. He live in the P's, I live over here on the block, and I can't mess with them. No division, because that division that they try to give us is what they use to destroy us. They want us separated and not together because they benefit from that. They benefit from keeping us from following these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. You understand? They benefit from these things. They want us off of our deen so that they can destroy us as individuals. Because like I said earlier, bullies love attacking individuals. If they knew there was a group, or we was all together, it wouldn't be as such. It would back up a little bit. You understand? It's a trap that they have to keep us divided. You understand? They plan and pray on our lack of brotherhood and our lack of sisterhood. You understand? They shoot us down in the street like freaking animals. If they was actually shooting animals the way they shoot brothers and sisters in the street, it would be a problem. Somebody would come see them.
That's right.
They would be locked up and put in jail for shooting animals the way they shoot blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians in the street the way they do. The way they abuse us and beat us and mistreat us. It'll be a problem if they did that to a dog. If they did it to a cat, it'll be a problem. And somebody would have to pay for it. But because we refuse to be together and speak the same language and be on one accord with no division, we don't have our power back in us. You understand? We dealing with a whole bunch of things that we shouldn't because of our lack of our brotherhood and sisterhood. You understand? It's very, very important. You wanted to say something, sir?
No,
you understand? They would be in trouble for the abuse and the lies they put on us to imprison us. They couldn't do that to anybody else.
Right.
You see these so-called fools out here running around talking about some Asian hate.
Right.
You want to know Asian hate? When my sister go in the nail salon and they throw acetone on her. When my sister in the nail salon trying to get her nails done and the Asian man jump up and punch the sister in the face. When my sisters is out shopping in your damn beauty supply stores and you and your wife put my sister in a headlock and choke her and wrestle her down to the ground because you thought she stole something. That's what Asian hate look like to me. Whatever's happening to them out there is their problem. And brothers and sisters running around caring and worried about that, but you don't give a damn about what's happening with your brothers and your sisters. We need to learn who to love, and we need to learn how to love each other. You understand? We're going to get that through following these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Getting back to what our Father told us to do. Because He knows better than we do. You understand? If it was up to us, we do the worst things in the world every chance we get.
Come.
We do the worst things in the world every chance we get.
Come.
We need to be told what to do. The best part is, it's here for you. It was already told for you what to do. All you got to do is do it. It's already here for you. Step into the plate. You understand? Yeah, so you want to bring something up?
Can I read the end?
Go ahead, get that.
But that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Now I just wanted to make this because there's some cats that like to wear bed sheets and like to have a lot of little group meetings that they call summits.
Right.
Here's the problem with that. Y'all aren't on the same mind though.
Right.
Y'all aren't in the same judgment.
Right.
What does it mean to be in the same judgment? What's your judgment? What's your judgment for a brother that has a white mother? Is that your brother?
For a brother that has a white mother?
Yeah, John.
A white mother.
A white mother.
That's my brother.
That's your brother? Well, that's my judgment. There's another cat that might call him a bad word.
Right.
Right? What's your judgment for a brother that has multiple wives?
That's my brother.
Well, there's another brother that believes that you can only have one.
You're right. You're damn right.
How can we be in the same mind and in the same judgment?
Right.
We can't all be in the truth then.
Right.
Because according to this, that can't be the truth.
Right.
We don't have to be on the same mind and in the same judgment.
Damn right. You ain't lying.
Okay? So there can't be, you believe this over here, you believe this over here, but we're all the truth though.
Right. It's garbage.
Because Paul just said, and then they try to say, we're all the 7 churches of Paul. But Paul just dictated to the 7 churches, y'all all got to be doing the same goddamn thing.
Right.
So what? Corinth is just like Ephesus, and Ephesus is just like Philadelphia,
right.
And Philadelphia is just like Colossus. So what you're all believing the same thing. Which goes back to the point of what? Love is perfectly being joined together.
Damn right. They said, what was reading? Who was reading? It said the bond.
Perfectness of the bond of perfectness.
And which is the bond of perfectness. Damn right.
Right. Charity.
Yeah.
It's charity.
Put on that charity. That's the bond of perfectness.
How, like he said, you gotta love a brother more than like Christ and the Most High loved us.
Damn right. Damn right.
Christ is looking at that quote unquote brother with a white mother and loving him and forgiving him.
Right.
How to find this truth to change himself.
Come on.
I'm not right?
Damn right.
And you're gonna say, because of something that's out of his control, he's evil and he doesn't need to be here. Or he's somehow less. That's not the bond of perfectness. That's not even a bond at all. Your bond is destroyed. You're a weak link and you need to be taken out. But here's the beauty of it. The perfectness of our bond is that you'll never be in here.
Damn right. Come on. That's that bitterness.
Right.
And that evil speaking.
Right.
Which is forbidden against brothers. You understand?
Right.
But that's how you know what you just said. He's not here and he never will be here. You understand?
Right.
Because he probably, I don't know who you're speaking of exactly, but
oh, you didn't hear about that?
He probably not one of us in the first place. Is he Israel?
He Israel, but he has some fake stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. All right.
Yeah, you know what's called? They had that little summer thing.
Yeah.
Somebody came in, they called him a mamza, and it started a little brawl.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here. Why? Because we're of the same mind.
You're damn right. Because ain't no place in the world where you're gonna see brotherhood and gloriousness and sisterhood and the love, the true love, the life-changing love, unless you're in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right. Like, you know how many light-skinned brothers over at Passover? Like,
as flock as a speckled bird. There was all types of colors and shapes and sizes, brothers and sisters. And they were beautiful.
Right.
It was a beautiful, glorious thing. You understand?
Right.
There was no fighting. There was no ill-mannered speaking. There was no nothing. You understand? You ain't never seen love like that. Right. You go to your so-called family house on them damn heathen holidays that you celebrate, and everybody in the damn house fighting. Everybody talking bad about each other before the damn thing even start. You ain't never gonna see real love and brotherhood and sisterhood like I.S.U.P.K. unless you're part of the damn I.S.U.P.K. And that's that. That is that no division. You understand? That is that speaking the same thing. That's exactly what the scripture is talking about. And you damn right, because the brother not in the school, he has no idea what this is. He has no idea what this is. And he ain't about being perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment.
Right.
If you ain't in the I.S.U.P.K. or the commanded general YAHANNA, you know nothing about those things.
Right.
He knows nothing about that. But the real issue is Israel needs to learn all about that. We need to learn all about that and get back to that because that's what's going to save us. You understand? We need to get all in that. We need to live that. That's what we need because they want us to be divided and not fight for each other and not care about our brothers and be willing to hurt and harm and wrong our own brothers and sisters. And that's getting us absolutely nowhere. You understand? Following these heathen ways is putting us further and further and further and further into these curses and into that ditch. And the only way out is with these law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. You understand? Loving your brother and your sister. Showing some sisterhood. not following what they want. It's a trap. It's crafty counsel. They got all types of things to make you hate each other. You understand? Light skin this, dark skin that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he speaks Spanish. I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
Oh, he speak Creole. I don't speak Creole. I don't like Haitians. I don't like Jamaican. I don't like. You know, you got a whole bunch of nonsense and minuscule reasons to why you can't mess with another brother or sister. Like, where you get that from? That's not of you. That's not us. We didn't make that up. You following what they do. You understand? Trying to segregate and divide everything. And we all one people. The brothers out there in Cali, Salaki, the brothers out there in Cali, there's a video up there on YouTube. I don't know how old this video is, but I watched it recently. And they was at a powwow. You understand? You know what powwow is, right, sir?
Yes, I know powwow.
Yeah, they went to a powwow. They were sitting there asking, you know what I'm saying, so-called native Indians. Like, do you think you so different from the black man? And they're like, no. They're like, we ain't different at all. You understand? Lots of them, brothers and sisters. They're like, man, we ain't different at all.
Right.
Well, we ain't different at all. And they know we got the same damn struggles and problems and obstacles and enemies. Same enemies as well. You understand? But they pushing this agenda to keep us divided and fighting and attacking each other. You know what I'm saying? And just living like animals, like them. Living how they live, like animals. With no sense of reason. You understand? And that's not our ways. That's not our ways. We read about our ways. You know what I'm saying? Being kind and forbearing and having bowels of mercy and being and humbleness of mind and loving one another as Christ and the Most High loved us. That was our ways. That is our ways. Not was our ways. That is our ways. We got to stop following what these other people are doing, man. Got us killing each other, man. Man, I was watching the sidebar. I was watching the news the other night. They said 11 people got shot in the New York City area one night. 11 different people got shot. And I'm looking at the news, and the sad part was I knew about 6, 7 of them places where things happened. I even know one of them young boys they killed that night. I'm like, man, it ain't never about nothing. It ain't never about nothing. Some little stupid gang beef, you mad at this brother for that, or whatever have you. His handkerchief is blue and your handkerchief is red, and now somebody has to die. That's nonsense, man. It's garbage, man. And they're doing that to keep us at the bottom, man. They're doing that to keep us out of the grace and mercy of the Most High God, because that's not what He intended for us to do. And He doesn't like when we do that. You understand? Let's go to the book of Matthew and see why they like, and see why they love pushing their agenda so much to have us against each other. 12 and 25. And see why they love pushing this agenda to keep us against each other and keep us fighting with each other and keep us bickering and beefing over nonsense. You understand? There's a reason to it.
Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
You understand? This is Christ speaking. Yahweh Shah, who you easily know is Jesus Christ. It says that every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And they know this. You understand? These oppressors know these things. That's why they keep us like this. First of all, they didn't want us to know who we was in the first place. You understand? You know why? Because you might understand that that's your brother, and you might start being a nation of people. You change your name every 5, 6 years. They tell you all types of nonsense, confuse you, and show you television shows, and just install hate. Hate for yourself, hate for your brothers, hate for your sisters into your mind, to the point where you go outside in the streets and you bump into your brothers and your sisters, and the only thing you have is hate. And it is to keep your house divided against each other. Some of us go home to that woman and the woman hates you. Your own wife, you go home to your woman, she hates you. You go home to your kids, they hate you. You go home to your mother and your father's house, they hate you. Everybody just got hate for one another. Because we don't know how to love. We lost the ability and the method to love. You understand? People say they love you, but if you ain't following these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, you don't know what love is. Come on, sis.
So we lost that. It's possible. It's going to take our time for some of us to have love for one another, because it seems like it's getting too little out of hand.
That's true. It does take time to get it back. What do you mean it's getting out of hand, though?
Like, we be walking, it's like you said, without, passing by your brother, and you got so much to say, and it's not positive, it's just negative.
That's true, though. We do have a lot of evil speakings and just, bro, I tell you, brothers and sisters running around with hate. You know what I'm saying? They following this oppressor and following other people's ways, and the people they follow and hate us. You understand? You can't. If you love the Lord, right, you're gonna love who the Lord loves, and you're gonna hate who the Lord hates. So if you love this world and you love this lifestyle outside of the truth, outside of what the Most High God said, you are going to love whatever you in love with loves, and you're going to hate whatever you're in love with hates. And when you're not in this school, when you out there in that world, messing with Jakes hate what the oppressor who controls that world hates. He hates niggas. He hates so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So by default, our brothers and sisters run around hating each other. They hate themselves. Because you can't love your brother and love God. And if you don't love God, you hate yourself. If you're an Israelite, you're a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you don't love the Most High God. You definitely do hate yourself. You should follow him. If I could get the scripture one more time, sure.
Oh, sorry. 25. And Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So before we even get our kingdom back, they sitting here trying to keep us divided against each other because they don't want to see us grow and get back to being on top and in power. They don't want that. So how they keep us from getting there? They keep us hating each other. They ain't never gonna get together if they hate each other. They can't stand to be around each other. They plant a whole bunch of little seeds and watch them grow. And we falling for these traps. If we could, finish that off.
God. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So there is no winning. Come on with it.
I was gonna say you could definitely use that for our oppressor now.
For the oppressor now, right?
For our oppressor right now.
Oh yeah, because he gonna do it.
Like yeah, like and it's so beautiful because like
you damn right it's beautiful.
It's like I don't know about you because you're a bit older than me, but back I remember like when I was a kid or whatever, like celebrities really weren't into politics. Like but nowadays every celebrity is coming out their face saying something else or another. Some of them get in trouble for it, some don't. And you're like, politics are really, in a way, tearing the country apart, and it's beautiful to see. Because it's like let's be real, like, it's beautiful because it's like things we as black people full on freaking do. Like, Esau's having to stare in the face. What? Republicans aren't a party of race, of nothing but racists. But who was everybody at the goddamn, what's it called? I see no Democrats.
Right.
Nobody was holding the donkey, which is a symbol of the Democratic Party. Yeah. All them people were Republicans. But now you're seeing like, yeah, this party's racist. And what you're gonna see soon is that the Democrats are gonna start to show their beyonds. Okay, and you're gonna start to see a lot of it, and you're gonna see more of this country really starting to divide against itself because it is very stupid to have your country literally split in two. Like imagine, like really sit here and imagine if Commander General YAHANNA and General Muhammad were like two completely different people running the nation. Like it wouldn't even be, it wouldn't even be right because thank goodness we're wise enough to have centralized leadership and one man does make the decision. But let's take Commander General YAHANNA out of it. General Muhammad and General Maya. Like, and they're just one believes in spending money, the other believes in not spending money. like, we'll really just be sitting here watching a back and forth for possibly months, like brothers had to do last year with the stimulus check and all the unemployment, just to be like, yeah, we're not giving you anything.
Right.
Like, and it's like, no, what country can function like this? Like, they make it seem all great, like we all get a say, but no, that don't work.
Right, it doesn't, and it never did. And they and I ain't gonna lie, Barack will tell you why I was shot. Their kingdom is falling and being divided against itself. Because I don't give a damn about it. All that means is that the prophecy is coming true. This shit needs to burn down. Babylon needs to burn down and rise no more. I thank the Lord for that they're going through it and beefing and bickering and ready to press them damn buttons and blow each other up. Right. Go ahead and do it. Get to it. So we can get through it. You understand? Go ahead and do it and get to it so that we can get through it and get to our kingdom. Because y'all had us divided against each other for too long. Right. So that we couldn't stand. So that our kingdom is desolate. Come on, sis, what you want to bring up?
Like it says in the Bible, Most High said, when there's going to be death is, when our people call upon the Most High, He's going to turn the deaf ears.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, you want to pull it?
Huh?
What's that? But that's because the children of Israel refused to listen to the Lord's statutes, the Most High God. And He's saying you're going to call on Him one day, He's not going to hear you. You understand? Because the Lord heareth not sinners.
Right.
He heareth not the sinners. Come on, what's your...
It's like a cutoff point with the Most High.
Look, I'm glad you said that, right? Because we getting into all this about the house being divided. You brought out how the oppressor of this house is being divided right now, and they going through all they want to go through. And this is the perfect time to do exactly what the Lord said. Give me Zephaniah 2:1. Bible Kushah. I'm saying it's the perfect time to do exactly what the Lord said. The scriptures is a living book. This is a living book. It's a living word because it's talking about things that happen, things that's gonna happen, and things that are happening. You understand? And the houses are being divided right now. These countries are fighting with each other, and they're going through it. And I'm hoping and praying every day that they press the buttons and blow this shit to smithereens so that the next kingdom can rise. You understand? Our kingdom can rise. And I'm happy you asked that question about is it too late? Because this is the answer.
Gather yourselves, this is Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yea. Gather together, O nation not desired.
It says, gather yourselves together, nation not desired. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All the brothers and sisters that deal with all the garbage and all the back burner and all the scum that the oppressor in these countries put us through and on purposely putting us through and all these situations and bad living statutes and living situations that we have to endure and terrible jobs with damn right no pay and charging you an arm and a leg to stay in a shit hotel and all this garbage that they putting us through. What else it says, sir?
A nation not desired. The next word.
Come.
2, before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth. You understand? We ought to gather ourselves together before the decree bring forth, before the judgment. It's not too late because this shit ain't blown the smithereens yet. But that don't mean you got time. Don't think you have time. Do it, get it done now. You understand? Get it done now. Show love to your brothers and sisters right now. Start following the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High God right now. Don't never think I got a little 2-3 more years before do it right now. Do not wait for later. Do it right now. Get it done. But that's your answer right there. Is it too late? It is not too late. But get it done now. It says before the decree. You got the other one she asked for?
Yeah, count Isaiah 59:1.
Isaiah 59:1. Go ahead, get it, sir.
Behold, the Most High's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear.
All right.
Verse 2.
Look, that's the scripture you're talking about, right, sis? Yeah. He says his hand is not shortened that he cannot save. I mean, Most High God can still save you if He wants to. You understand? His hand is not shortened where He can't reach you and save you. It's a choice that He'll make. It's not that He can't. If He doesn't, it's not that He can't. It's because it's a choice that He makes, and He does what He wants.
Right, Con. This is verse 2, Bible show. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
And there you go. It's because of your sin. Read it again for me. So where we at again? Isaiah
59 and I'm in verse 2, but you can start at verse 1. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your power. I told you earlier, the Lord heareth not sinners. So we brothers and sisters outside running around living in sin, talking about they pray every night. The Lord does not hear what you are asking him for. He does not care about what you want, because you care not about what he wants. He wants you to do exactly what he told you to do. He wants you to follow his law, statutes, and commandments. He wants you to do it. He's a father. He wants you to obey him. It's not an option. You won't have his power. You won't have his help. He won't be on your side. The Most High God, it says, but your iniquities have separated between you and your power. It's our sin that's keeping us from having our power. The Most High God can come here and destroy the whole. You see what he did? He said that coronavirus out here and shook the whole damn world. Shut the whole damn world down for a year and change. Imagine if we was following him and doing what he asked us to do. You wouldn't have no problem with no oppressors or nobody shooting you down the street. You wouldn't have those problems, because the Most High God controls everything and he can change the situation overnight. So for the same reason why I raised Pharaoh so high, so I could slow him down. This oppressor is going to get chopped down if we follow what the Most High God says. His enemies are our enemies. Why not serve the power that can destroy our enemy?
Right.
Why not? It just makes sense. We won't have to lift the finger. All you have to do is serve the Most High God, follow his law, statutes, and commandments. And your sins have hid his face from you. And our sins is what's keeping him from saving us. Our sins is what's keeping him from flipping the whole damn situation around and putting us back on top of all nations where he wanted us to be. I forget what scripture that is. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's a scripture, and it said the Lord looked down at the earth and said that. But it said my princes are walking as servants, and the servants are on horses. The world is backwards because we allowed it to be, from not following what the Father said and what the Father intended. And he hid his face from you, that he will not hear. And I tell you, the Lord heareth not sinners. So we being laden in sin is what's keeping the Lord from saving us.
Right.
That's what's keeping the Lord from saving us and changing our situation and getting us up out of this hell. Get back to your scriptures. We go to the book of Matthew one time. We'll go to Matthew chapter 5.
Matthew's
5 and 43.
5 and 43?
Yeah.
It's about to be done.
Yeah, I see, sir. We're going to put this sin down, and we're going to get back to loving our brothers and sisters, just like the Most High God wanted, following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? It said the two of the greatest laws is that you love the Most High God with all your mind, body, and soul, and that you love your brother as you love yourself. You understand? And we follow those things and get those things done in order. The rest of the laws will be easy. If you love your brother and your sister, you wouldn't kill them. If you love your brother and your sister, you wouldn't sell them drugs. If you love your brother and your sister, you wouldn't abuse them. You wouldn't use them. You wouldn't mistreat them. You wouldn't put them in harm's way. It'll stop all of our problems overnight from just following what the Lord said. Whenever you're ready, sir.
John 25 and 5 and 43, John.
Yeah, come on.
Ye have heard, this is Matthew 5 and 43, ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
And it says, you have heard that it has been said. You understand? That means that it was said already. This is something from the Old Testament. You understand? You have heard that it has been said that thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. You understand? And we're going to find out what's going on here, because people believe, well, people that don't know this Bible believe that this verses that we get into is reason to love everyone, but that's not what's going on here. Not even a little bit. If we could, so I get the next verse.
Next verse. 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies.
But Christ said, he said, love your enemies. You understand? And we know he's not talking about no other nation of people, because we read it, the scriptures in the book that tell you never trust your enemy. Never trust your enemy. You understand? But right here it's saying that you have heard that it have been said that you should love your neighbor and hate thy enemy. And he's telling you, love your enemy. Go ahead, sir.
Love your enemy. Salaam. Bless them that curse you.
Bless them that curse you. You understand? Give kind words. Don't give good thoughts and spirits to that brother or that sister, because that's who the enemy in this scripture is talking about. Right. It's not talking about your oppressor that's holding you and your whole nation of brothers and sisters down and abusing you. It's talking about your enemy within your own family. You understand? Your enemy within your own nation. That brother or sister that don't like you because you bought the new Jordans or whatever garbage they like. That brother or sister that don't like you because you talk to somebody that they like. Whatever it is, whatever little minuscule baby garbage reasons that we don't like one another, or we got beef and quarrels and rats with one another. This is the enemy that they're talking about. They ain't talking about nobody out there that's another nation of people that is destroying your people. You understand? Forgive this enemy. Forgive this enemy. Forgive your brother. We read in Leviticus, you can't hate your brother in your heart. You can't hold grudges against your brother. Forgive that brother. Forgive that enemy. Love that enemy. And bless them when they curse you. What else, sir?
John. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you.
Do good to them that hate you. You understand? They hate you. Do good by them. You don't fall into that trap. Come on.
And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. You understand? And brothers and sisters that got nothing but ill-mannered things to say about you, try to put you down and talk dirty on you. You pray for them. You do good things for them. You understand? You do good things to them. You pray for them that they get better. You understand? Because even right now, we got so much energy to go against our own brothers and sisters. Brothers in the club fighting and shooting because somebody stepped on your damn shoe. And that same brother that got the energy to kill another brother or sister that looks just like you will stand there and watch a cop kill your mother.
Right.
You'll watch the cop kill your mother and pull out your damn cell phone and record it. Talking about, don't worry, I'm recording. But you ain't got enough energy to get in there and stop it from happening. But let it be a brother or sister. Let it be somebody who goes through the same problems as you, got the same struggles and worries as you. You ready to take it to the extreme because you hate your brothers and your sisters just as the person that you love hates your brothers and your sisters. You want to be part of the world? We want to be part of that garbage and follow these other nations, and you wonder why we hate each other? Because them people that we follow and hate us. Get back to following our Father. Get back to these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God and loving one another and being kind to one another. You understand? Being kind to that brother or sister that got nothing but hate and malice for you. Being kind to that brother or sister that's coming outside and cursing you. You give them blessings. You understand? You don't fall into that victim to that nonsense. Get the next verse if I could, sir.
45, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven.
So that you can be the children of your Father which is in heaven, because He loves your children. He loves His children. He loves their brothers and sisters. He loves you. Love your brothers and sisters like your Father in heaven does. Keep going if you could. Get a little more.
For He maketh His sun to rise on the evil and on the good.
For He maketh His sun to rise on the evil and the good. It's not light just shining on one. It's evil and good. You understand? Everybody got their choice. And He's a merciful man. You understand? He makes it shine on evil and good. Come on.
And sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
And sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. You understand? Everybody getting the same thing. Next one.
46. For if we love them which love you, what reward have ye?
Because if you love them that love you, What reward have you? You understand? You showing love to people that show love to you. That's easy. That's convenient. Go show love to the brothers and sisters that need the love, that might not know how to show you the love. Go show it to them. Go give that brother and sister some help. You understand? Go empathize and sympathize with that brother or sister that might not be showing you no love. Might not know how to show love, but might just damn well need a little bit of love. Might need somebody to talk to, a hug and a sandwich. You understand? Show love to the brother that needs it. Not only the brothers that showing it back to you. What reward is that? What work are you doing? That's very convenient. There's no sacrifice in that. It's convenience. Come on, if you could, we get the end of this.
God,
No.
do not even the publicans the same?
He said, do not even the publicans the same? You understand? You want to be like these people? The publicans, it's like, I mean, that was the tax collectors, right? That was the people that used to collect the taxes.
Basically, them and any cool.
Yeah, politician type.
If I may,
Come on.
Another example of it today is gangbangers.
Gangbangers?
Like, basically, like, basically, like, of course, a Crip's gonna love another Crip, but I want you to show that you're better than the Crips.
Right.
You're better than the Bloods. They just love each other. Like, you see us, what's called, so long as I ain't doing nothing stupid, if a Catwing U.P.K comes up to me and says, Shalom, tries to salute me. Yo, what's going on, brother? Shalom, y'all, Shalom. It's not yo, fuck you and your fake ass group, and fuck your leader. I don't have to, I could say mad shit about your leader.
Right.
But today, you came in the spirit of brotherhood. Shalom, brother. Yahweh,
Damn right.
Lord in Christ, whatever. I ain't telling you no shalom BS. I'm going to correct you on that one or whatever. Or just be like, yeah, shalom. But, like, there's none of that animosity. And even Christians. Christians can be very rude to people that they feel aren't with them. Yeah. Whether that's not a Christian, not a part of your church, their church, so on and so forth. That's how our people are. If you're not specific, meaning what he's saying is, if you're not specifically in my clique, I don't mess with you. Christ is saying here, don't be like that.
Real shit.
We love all Israel.
Yeah, because what good is that? How you going?
Right.
What good is that? He sent this man out to go speak to the Lord, sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
Like, what good does that do? Like, what good are you doing if you only messing with people that's doing what you're doing already? What good are you doing? You only have love for them. Love the ones that need it too. You understand? Love the ones that need it as well. Because brothers and sisters need love. This is something that we need.
Right.
Let's get the end of this real fast. We can get up.
Yeah. 47. And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so, like I just said.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right. If you only talk to your brother, what that mean?
Right.
You only got love for that. That means nothing. You're not helping anyone. Come on, let's finish this off, sir.
Right. 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect. You understand?
God.
Christ just said, be ye therefore perfect.
And if I may.
And give me a second, sir. And you hear all these people out here, right? All these so-called Christian, so-called people of God. You know what I'm saying? These liars. Well, I like to call them these liars. Talk about you can't be perfect. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect. You could be perfect. You follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God to the T. That's how you become perfect.
Right.
So you trying to tell me Christ gave an order that was impossible?
Right.
He gave an impossible order, right?
Right.
The greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? The most loving, caring man that ever walked the face of the earth. He gave an impossible order. Gotta help that garbage, man. He said, be ye therefore perfect. Be perfect as we supposed to be. Even as your Father. Just like our Father. Just like our Father intended us to be. But be perfect. You understand? By following these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. And getting back to what the Lord intended for us to do. Go ahead, so what you going to bring out?
Now, I'm just going to bring out everything you brought out up to today. A lot of times, it was saying one to another, meaning like, basically, Paul, although he's speaking about how brothers in the school should conduct themselves around other brothers in the school, what Christ is explaining is that yeah, that's all fine and dandy, how y'all conduct yourselves in the school, but that's bare minimum. I would expect y'all niggas not to be in here hating each other, or else what the hell are we doing? Right. What I expect to see from y'all is everything I taught you to do in here, you take it outside. Right. Like meaning what? You be kind, you be affectionate, you have charity, right? You have all those things to people who aren't amongst us.
Damn right.
And that's perfection.
Damn right.
And be ye therefore perfect, even as your fathers are perfect. No matter what side of the Most High you're on, whether you love him or hate him, you can't lie and say he's not perfect. That's what I expect to see from you. That's what Christ is saying in this verse.
Damn right.
John.
Damn right. And I tell you, man, they try to hit us with all types of nonsense to keep us distracted from what we could and should be doing. You understand? Try to keep us divided and ununited to keep us away from our powers. Keep us away from our Father, power. And right here it says that we should be perfect, just as our Father in heaven intended us to be. And we're going to get to being perfect by following his Lord, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. You understand? Following, getting this brotherhood right, getting this sisterhood right, and building this nation, and showing the other nations and people that we are forced to be reckoned with, and we have a power that everybody should fear. And we're going to get there. And the question is, who's coming? That's all. Well, we're going to get there. And I ain't going to lie with that. I'm going to pass the class to Precinct Officer 1000, Officer Baja. Hey, Shalom, Israel.
No sign of